Hi friends, this is Melissa with Embodied Energies Yoga. We are continuing our chakra series. This week we have been focusing, or actually this month we have been focusing on our third chakra, the solar plexus. This is the energy center, the action center, life force center. So today I will show you 3 different poses to try to use, tell me what you think, to activate, to really ignite the solar plexus chakra. I like to do these poses when I'm feeling lethargic, when I'm lacking energy, and I know I have a boatload of things I need to do, yet I need the energy. So tell me what you think. The first pose we will do is triangle pose. The way I like to do it is first to come into mountain pose. Once again, noticing your feet are firmly rooted into the earth. So for me, I am using my left leg as my back leg. So my right leg will be my front leg. And then I take my front leg out a bit. I'm squaring my hips to the front, so they're not to the side. Squaring hips to the front. Some people like to have this leg wide. That doesn't work in my hips, so finding what works for you. Taking a breath in, my right leg or my right foot kind of comes to, it's in alignment with the back arch of my left leg. So then extending legs out, activating abs, knitting my ribs in, shoulders are soft. I bend forward, so for me it's to my right. I bend forward toward my front foot, keeping my shoulders back, not all the way back so I don't fall over, but also not in the front either. So keeping back, shoulders in alignment. I begin working my right hand down my calves all the way to the floor. This takes a minute to get there. And to be quite honest, it took me quite a while to get all the way to the floor. Whatever works for you. So this is triangle pose. Let's talk about some variations. Coming out of this pose, activating your abs, slowly rising up. So to make this more accessible, blocks are your friend. So once again, coming into my foot alignment, hips forward, just like my back leg. Front foot forward, I have a block in my right hand. So using my hands, I come over to my right, slowly working my way down without rounding my shoulders and bringing the floor up to me. Now, your left hand shouldn't be too far forward, too far back, pretty much in alignment with your shoulder. Once again, coming out of this pose, activating your abs, bringing you back up. Another way to learn to make this accessible is to use a wall. In all 3 poses today, the wall will be our friend. So I have my left leg facing forward once again. My heel is not on this back wall. I don't like the way that feels, but if it works for you, go for it. And then my right foot once again comes out to the front. I have my handy dandy block in my right hand. Using my abs, knitting my ribs in. Come forward, using the back wall to keep me steady. And I find my triangle pose here. You can use my block or not. Once again, coming out of this, using your abs to bring you out. The second pose we will talk about is cobra pose. So there are a couple variations with cobra pose. I like to first come down on my hands and knees so that my knees are under my hips, my hands are under my shoulders, walking hands out in front of me, and then once again, knitting ribs in, abs in, coming forward, and coming all the way down to my belly. Now, with Cobra, there are a couple ways we can do this. If you choose to keep your elbows in, knit them close to your sides, elbows close to your side, palms of hands down, taking a breath, and on your exhale, using your hands on the floor to bring you up into Cobra. Now, if you notice, my shoulders are relaxed. I'm looking straight ahead, not looking up, maybe even slightly looking down. And then coming back down. One of my favorite ways to do Cobra is to take my hands off the mat, extend them out to the sides, so it's close to my shoulder, but also slightly above my shoulder. I like to use my fingertips to help me, and relaxing in my neck, tightening abs, knitting ribs in, and on that inhale, coming up to what feels good for you. Your pubic bone is down in the ground, and your calves are strong but not kinked or tightened up. And then on your exhale, coming back down. And of course, you can use the wall. The wall is your friend. In all of these poses, it will be your friend. So what you could do is, for Cobra, facing the wall, once again extending your arms out to the sides of your shoulders, pressing into the wall, either your palms or your fingertips, and once again coming into a slight back bend that feels good for you, while keeping abs tight, ribs knitted in. So it could look like this. And then our third and final pose today is truly one of my favorites. So we have done triangle, and then we just did Cobra. So our last pose is plank pose. I know, plank sounds awful, but it doesn't have to be. So with plank, I once again come down on my fours, and then from plank, I move from hands under shoulders, I extend my hands forward a bit, making sure my knees are rooted down, and I use my booty to bring me forward, so that way my hands are under my shoulders, curl my toes under, and lift my knees. So that is plank, one way to do it. Of course, you could stay on your knees, and if I wanted to stay on my knees, which I often do if I'm in a flare, I still come forward. I like to lift my toes off the ground, making sure I'm not arching my back in, but I'm keeping a nice straight spine. That is one way. Another way you can make this pose work, is to come onto your forearms and curling your toes under and lifting your booty up. Last but not least is using the wall. So with the wall, I will keep my arms in, whereas with our Cobra pose and we were bending out, I had my arms extended. With plank, I'm keeping a straight alignment in my spine, and my arms will be closer in. I'm using the wall as support. Whatever pose works for you, I encourage you, give it a try and make it your own. Your plank pose doesn't have to be perfect. Your triangle pose doesn't have to be perfect. Use the props, make every pose accessible. And of course, Cobra doesn't either. Find what works for you Because remember, here at Embodied Energies, we really embrace imperfection and we find what works for your body. We make all poses accessible. Let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe. And until then, thank you so much. And it's with gratitude I say thank you. Namaste.